I don't know if you checked the calendar, but the first debate is over, and the second debate is just days away.
That's exactly right. So who's on top? Who's rising? Who's declining? Let's take a look at the latest Fox News power rankings.
So the power rankings taking grassroots support, taking money, donations,
polls,
momentum,
backing,
and our own sources. By the way, number one by far, Ainsley, the front runner and the number one in the power rankings is?
Donald Trump. The indictments are not hurting him. Look at this. In Iowa, he's getting 46%. And in South Carolina, 46%.
Right. We don't have New Hampshire up, but New Hampshire's still figuring out the exact day they want to go, and we'll be number two right after Iowa.
He's 39% in New Hampshire.
Right. So far, we have two less in the debate state qualifying for the debate stage, debate number two. Not there is Governor Hutchinson. Not there is Governor Burgum. As we look at the other list, we broke it up into two categories.
All right. So we broke it down into populist, which would be America First agenda. We've heard Vivek saying he wants to eliminate the IRS. He wants to eliminate the FBI. And then you have the conservatives on that side, Brian.
Right. And also you have populists and conservatives. So when you talk about a populist, you're not really into NATO. You don't want to get involved in any wars. You definitely don't want any part of Ukraine. So that's where the populist lane is. Ron DeSantis is kind of a little blurry on that. Not very consistent here has been Tim Scott, Mike Pence, and Nikki Haley. They all believe it's worth it. They're also into more fiscal responsibility here, looking to cut budgets. Donald Trump and company, who leads the populist lane, Ainsley, doesn't really worry too much about the spending. It's where they're spending.
And even though Donald Trump is America First, he does support Israel. He's a big backer of Israel. I know Mike Pence is as well. But we heard Vivek Ramaswamy saying possibly no more money to Israel.
And here's one thing to keep in mind is what our experts say to put together the power rankings. They say if these two combined and in the populist lane,
right,
and then you have all these three coalesce against with Nikki Haley, then you have a much more closer race than to Donald Trump, who's got you by about 30 points right now. And that's what we know that Governor Sununu has been calling for in New Hampshire. He's like, guys, I don't care who it is. He does not want Trump to win. He's not necessarily an anti-Trumper, just doesn't want him in 2024. And he says, until you coalesce and shorten this bench, Trump's going to trounce.
And Trump has criticized everyone on this board except for Nikki Haley. He didn't say anything.
Much.
Not a criticism, not a plus, but he made her the U.S. ambassador. So they have a good relationship, and she asked permission to run. She went down and got his blessing. He was praising Vivek, though. Vivek does not want to say anything negative about Trump.
What is there not to praise about Vivek when he says Donald Trump will be my key advisor when I'm president, because I would like him right next to me. And Nikki Haley did come out and say Donald Trump is the most unpopular politician in the country. That was kind of interesting. So let's look at the final board, the wild card board. There's only one person in the anti-Trump lane.
And this is Chris Christie. He's really focused on New Hampshire. 90% of his events since February have been in this state. But it's so bizarre because he's not even winning. Donald Trump is actually winning by 39. He's getting 39 points in the state.
What's interesting about Christie, when pressed, he's so much deeper than anti-Trump. When you talk about these court cases, when you talk about what's going on with Hunter Biden, when you talk about what's happening in Ukraine, he was actually in the Ukraine. He'll go deep. But what they book him on other channels to do is just rip Trump because they just don't like Trump. So he'll go in any lane you want. It's not as if he's only got one tune. And right now we look at Christie on the rise. This is his state, New Hampshire. That's his stand. Don't expect him to do much in Iowa. But right now he's got 11% in New Hampshire.
So let's say he comes in second place in New Hampshire. How does that really help him? Is he able just to say, look how good I did?
Yes, I believe that if he can do respectable in Iowa, get to the first primary in New Hampshire, and just basically be a contender for South Carolina, which is owned by Trump. Second is Nikki Haley. Third is Tim Scott. If he's respectable there, he's in for the long term. Christie's goal, have a debate with Donald Trump.
So
word is that debate number 3 could have Trump in it.
The threshold to qualify for the next debate next week is higher than the first one. When some of the ones that were on stage before, like Asa Hutchinson and Burgum spokespeople say he's still in a position to qualify. But so far, he has not qualified.
Right. Yeah, we'll see. He's got to get up. He got another percentage point in the polls nationally. They can consolidate them all.